Hey guys, here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, I'm going to write it because y'all said that y'all like it when I write it instead of just going over everything, and that's fine. Okay, I like the fact that you are taking notes and all that other good stuff. Okay, so let's get started. We're doing 12.4 perimeter and circumference. Okay, perimeter and circumference. All right, basically, these are the same. Okay, they're the same. Perimeter and circumference are the same. Perimeter is the distance around a polygon. Therefore, add the sides to get perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter, that's like if it's a polygon, like it's a straight-sided figure, okay? All you have to do is add up all the sides together and you got your perimeter, okay? Perimeter, again, adding up all the sides to get the answer. Circumference, though, it's basically the same thing, but it's the distance around a circle. See, circumference. Okay, circle, that's how you can kind of remember. All right, it's like the perimeter of a circle. It's the distance around the circle. So you've been doing perimeter for years. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of know what that means. Circle's a little different. What is circle? It is a set of points that are equal distance from a set point, which is the center. Okay? So circle is a set of points that are equal distance from the a set point in the center. Basically, you're talking about a million dots, points, just all close together, and they're equal distant from the center. Okay? All right. Chord. Chord is a line segment with both endpoints on a circle and a diameter is a chord. Now I'll tell you what a diameter is too if you forgot that. So a chord, it's a line segment with both endpoints. That's important, with both endpoints on the circle. That's the only rule. So for example, if it was, that's a chord, so that line segment, that's a chord. Notice the two endpoints are on the circle. That's a chord. Now, see that center? Okay, notice that line goes through the center. That is also a chord. It's a line segment that goes through the center. But all of these are chords. It's just a line that connects from one side of the circle to the other. But this is also, I messed it up, diameter. And it's denoted by letter D. So a diameter looks like this. Okay? where it's a line that goes straight through the center. It has to go through the center. None of these are diameters. They're chords, but they're not diameters. This one, where the line goes through the center, that's a chord and a diameter. Okay? So the definition for diameter, it's a chord passing through the center of a circle. Okay? Diameter is a chord that's passing through the center of the circle. It cannot be these, it's only this one. All right, radius. It's R. It's a line segment from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. Basically, if that's the center, the radius is that. Okay? So diameter is a line that goes through the center, and radius is half of that. It is half the diameter. That's important to know. Okay. Luckily, you remember all of this from 5th grade and 6th grade, etc., etc., etc. Okay, now we're moving on to finding circumference. C. C is the symbol for circumference. The formula is C equals pi times d, or C, circumference, equals 2 times pi times r. These are the same. The only difference is this one has diameter. If you're using diameter, this one has radius. Now question, why did they put a 2 in here when using radius? Okay, the reason is that because the radius is half of the diameter. Notice the diameter, move that arrow. The diameter is 2 radiuses, basically, or radii, because radii is plural. So diameter is 2 of 2 radiuses, okay? So if the formula originally is circumference equals pi times d, meaning the diameter, then if you don't have the diameter, which you can easily get the radius, and you have the radius, you're going to have to times that by 2 to match up with the diameter. Again, it takes 2 of the radiuses to give you 1 diameter. That's why you have that. It doesn't matter. They're the same thing, okay, depending on what you do. So, for example, let's say I have a circle and the radius is 3. Notice that's a radius. I'll even tell you that's radius. I don't have to say the R or the D or something. You should be able to just look at that and know that's the radius and not the diameter. Remember, diameter goes all the way across. Radius only goes halfway. So that is the radius. But what if I said, okay, that's the radius, now tell me what the diameter is. If diameter is 2 of these radiuses and it goes all the way across, then it's going to be 6. Because that's the radius, and then over here is going to be 3 as well. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Again, the diameter is twice the radius. Okay, so either way, you're going to have to know this. Again, you probably remember this from last year. Okay, pi. What do y'all remember as pi? It's about 3.14. Okay, so let's figure it out using this information. I'm going to use both of these formulas. Now, you only have to choose one, okay? So let's do this one right here. If we're to use this one, we're going to do pi times d, which is 6. Or we're going to find the circumference 2 times pi times the radius, which is 3. Pi is 3.14 times 6. Or we can use this formula. You don't have to do both. I'm just showing you how you can use both. If that's all you're given, you could still use both. I know there are kids that don't want to do that extra step with the 2, so they will purposely, for whatever reason, double up the radius, get the diameter, and go this route. It's up to you. So 2 times 3.14 times 3. So the answer would be, for this one, 18.84. Or if you multiply this, yes, you can use a calculator. You're going to get the same thing. See what I'm saying? Either one you can use. But you need to be careful, because if they give you the radius and you use this formula, are you going to get the correct answer? No. If they gave you the diameter, let's say they gave you the diameter and you chose this formula, are you going to get the right answer? No. So you got to decide which one you're going to do. If they give you the radius, you can use that one, or you can figure out the diameter and use that one, but make a decision. Let's say, for example, they give you the diameter of 10. So they said, here's your diameter, it's 10. What would the radius be? 5. Because from the center to the end is 5, and from here to here is 5. Remember, radius makes up half of the diameter. 2 radiuses, or radii, will give you the diameter. So you have this right here. So you can, no matter what they give you, you can figure out the other. What if they give you that's supposed to be a diameter? What if the diameter is 3? Then what's the radius? Half of 3, 1.5. Right here, from here to here is 1.5, and from here to here is 1.5. Okay? All right. Real quick, I'm going to write down my warning that I do every year, what I've been saying. Be sure to pay close attention to whether they are giving you diameter or radius. Okay, that is a common mistake. It messes kids up all the time, okay, because you're so busy concentrating on other things that you forget that. So please be very careful. Okay, let's do some examples. And y'all are going to be happy because I'm having to eliminate some of my expectations for y'all on some of the perimeter and everything, only because I can't see you in the classroom, and explaining some of this stuff to you via phone is going to be ugly. I mean, I can see it. Some of you are going to do just fine, but some of this may throw you off for a loop, and I do not want to set any of y'all up for failure. Don't worry, because to be honest, after pre-algebra, you won't have to deal with geometry for a while, okay, till your freshman year, if you do Algebra 1 next year. So as far as this goes, you're not hurting, promise. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do a few examples. Look at number 2. This is just true or false. It says a radius is twice the length of a diameter. Radius is twice the length of the diameter. Play on words. That's false. I want someone to explain why. Go ahead, explain it. That's a weird one. Okay, because the radius is typically half. It's half the diameter. You don't have to write this down, but a radius is half of diameter. Okay? 2 radiuses or radii make up the diameter, but a radius half the diameter. That's how I do it. Okay. Look at number 4. All chords of a circle are of equal length. All chords of a circle are of equal length. Well, that is also false. Let's test it. Here's a circle, and a chord can go straight through. A chord could be right up here on the top. It could be across the bottom, but are all 3 of these equal length? No, a chord is all over the place. They're all different lengths. They could go straight through the center. They could go they're real tiny across the edge there. So a chord can be different length, not equal. Okay, so be very careful with that. All right, number 6. It says find the circumference of the following circles. Round answers to the nearest hundredth. So 6, this is where you got to be careful. They give you the diameter, and it's 18 inches. Okay, so we need to figure out the circumference from that. So our formula is C for circumference equals pi times d. We're using this one. See, there's 2 up here. There's this one and this one. We're using this one right here because they give us the diameter. And our pi is 3.14 times d. When the things are right next to each other, we know it's multiplication, times 18. Okay, if you have your calculator, you can do the math, and it's 56.52 inches. Make sure that if your answers are longer than this, that you do round to the nearest hundredth place, because that's what it said in the directions. If you forget, I probably won't take too much off, but you need to get used to that, being that you're about to go into a high school level course next year. Okay. Now, I don't have too many more. Number 8. Let's look at number 8. Okay. This time it says find the diameter and radius of circles with the given circumference. Round the answers to the nearest tenth. Okay, so 8. This time they give you the circumference. They gave you the circumference. You need to find the radius and the diameter. So it's not that bad. Write down your formula. C equals pi times d. That's the one I'm going to go for. Okay? So then we just substitute, right? What is your circumference? It's 40, because they tell you that. We know what pi is. Do we know what diameter is? No. That is what we have to find out. Ah, does that look familiar? Intruder alert. We are isolating the variable. So, since you're multiplying, the opposite is dividing. I'm going to rewrite this. So, I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. So that cancels out. If you divide this using your calculator, you would get 12.7. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. And that equals D. See that? You're left with this. You're just plugging in the information. We start off with the formula. They gave us circumference. So we put that 40 in there, substituting. We're substituting 3.14 because we know that's what pi is. We don't know D, that's what we're supposed to find. So now we isolate the variable, intruder alert. Since these are multiplying, the opposite is dividing. So I divided both sides by 3.14. Those cancel out. I'm left with D. So 40 divided by 3.14 is 12.7. So now I have my D, but they did say we had to find radius. So remember that true and false question. Radius, it's half of the diameter. Remember, see, it's only half. Where the diameter goes all the way across, the radius is only half of the diameter. So we're going to divide 12.7 by 2. And if you use your little calculators, you get, that's going to be the radius, okay? And you get 6.35. They said to round to the nearest tenth. That's that place. That's 5, so 5 or greater. This becomes a 4. So radius equals this. So for number 8, 9, and 10, you're going to have 2 answers. All right, number 10. All right, they tell us that the circumference is 23.5 feet. All right, let's start plugging in the information. C equals pi times D. C, we're going to plug in the information. We know what that is. It's 23.5 equals, we know what pi is, 3.14 D. We got to find D. So I'm rewriting it just for space. Okay, since these two are multiplying, we have to isolate the variable by doing the opposite. And so I'm going to divide both sides by pi. And I'm left with my diameter. If you divide, you would get 7.48. However, the direction said round to the nearest tenth. So that's the 10th place. I look to the right. Since that's an 8, it changes to 7.5 equals the diameter. Now I need to get my radius. Radius, remember, all you have to do is divide by 2. You get 3.75 if you're using a calculator. And it says to round to the nearest tenth. So I look to the right. That's 5 or greater. So then my answer for my radius is 3.8. So there's diameter and radius. And yes, you have to find both, children. All right. Let's move on to 12. Okay, it says find the perimeter of the following polygons. Okay, now we're in perimeter. Okay, so 12 says a pentagon with 2 sides of 8.5 inches, 2 sides of 12 inches, and 1 side of 17 inches. All right, first of all, how many sides does a pentagon have? It has 5 sides. You know what you're going to do? Add all sides. So two sides, it says, two sides are 8.5. Two sides are 12, and since we are adding with decimals, I'm putting in my decimal and the 0. And then the last side is 17. If you use a calculator, you didn't have to write it all like this. But you just add up all the sides and you get 58 inches. I want to make sure I put in my label. Okay, 14. It says a regular octagon. Okay, regular octagon, that means all sides are equal. Okay, whenever it says regular pentagon, regular octagon, regular nonagon, that means all the sides are equal. Okay, how many sides does an octagon have? 8 sides. That's right. Okay, so all sides are equal in a regular octagon. There's 8 sides, and it says the sides, each side is 12.4 centimeters. So all you do is 12.4 times 8. You get 99.2 centimeters. So each side, it's the directions say, or the problem says, is 12.4 centimeters. So if one side is 12.4 centimeters, then each side is 12.4 centimeters because it's a regular octagon. Okay, this one up here, that pentagon, that was definitely not regular because the sides were different. All right, but a regular polygon is going to have all the sides the same. If they give you the measurement of one side, all you have to do is multiply it by however many sides and you're good to go. Okay, so let's look at 16. Now, I know my drawing doesn't look like the book, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it really is bad. Okay, so it said this right here is a right angle, and they give you the number 3. They also give you 12 here and 29 here. You know what's wrong with that problem? That 3 means nothing. They threw that in there to mess you up. You're looking for the perimeter. That's on the inside. That has nothing to do with perimeter. They gave you that to throw you off. Okay? That's all they wanted to find out. So you need to know the outside numbers. So if this is 29, what would this be? Also 29. If this is 12, what would this be? 12. So all you do, add up all 4 sides. Whoops, 29, 29, 12, and 12. Add them up, and you get 82. That's it. Okay, I'm going to stop there only because of the ones further with the circles and stuff. There's no way that I'm going to be able to help y'all with that. I would need to be in the classroom with y'all. Some of y'all, like I know, could figure it out. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can. But as far as what I can do from where we are at, this is the best I can do. So you're going to be doing page 510 to 511. You're going to be doing numbers 5 through 17 odd. Yep, that's it. I think that's going to be enough for distance learning. Make sure you stick with the IXL. If I didn't, I have on your proto page listed a whole bunch of IXLs to help y'all get prepared for the test. Just because I do not assign it does not mean that it's not going to be on the test. Like, I may not assign, or I have, maybe I have, maybe I haven't, I don't know, assign the circumference link. I may not assign the circumference link. Will circumference be on your test? Yes, it will be on your test. So if you want to make sure you understand it, you need to be mature enough to go and study that without me or your parent telling you to do it, okay? So make sure that before the test, you go over all of those IXLs that are listed on the proto page, okay? Because you will be tested over this. This will be due Wednesday. Your IXL due Wednesday, and I will let you know later when your test is, okay? I promise. Okay. Hope if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.